Welcome to yesterday's news, where crypto bros go broke and Elon Musk gets debunked by his own AI. Starting off with our first article, apparently the tech bros are annoyed that Trump is doing the things he told everyone he'd do. I mean, tech bro owls are kind of funny, they're pretty selfish people, and them voting for their own selfishness and it backfiring is a sweet bit of karma to see. Tech is turning on Trump. Even conservative executives are fed up with tariffs, Doge, and crypto bro schemes. 2 months into Donald Trump's second term, conservative leaders in the tech industry, some of whom are advising the administration, are in a state of turmoil. They are bristling at how the president's chaotic governing, unusual even by the standards of Trump 1.0, is making it increasingly difficult to run their companies. None of my friends who voted for Trump are happy right now. Everyone is annoyed, said Reggie James, the founder of Eternal, a new media company backed by Andreessen Horowitz. When tech people got involved in the government, they thought Trump was going to make more of a surgical approach and act less like a wrecking ball. More like they thought it was going to be a wrecking ball, but he wasn't going to wreck their business. Several Silicon Valley executives I spoke to, some of whom requested anonymity for fear of retribution, echoed this sense of disappointment, in particular at the havoc the Department of Government Efficiency has wreaked throughout the federal government. We were all on board for a more business-friendly presidency, but in the end, the whole industry of crypto and AI got rug pulled, says the partner of a top-tier venture firm directly involved in the Trump administration. The people surrounding Trump are all scamsters. They are getting rich off of our votes, our dollars, and time. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. You can be wealthy, you can be an executive, you can work for a big tech company, and you can still be dumber than a bag of hammers. Anyone who looked at Trump's first chaotic, bumbling presidency and thought he was competent enough to even be business-friendly is a moron. Anyone who thought that Grandpa, what's with these new light bulbs, Trump knew jack squat about crypto or AI is a moron. And sure as shit, anyone who didn't realize that Trump surrounds himself with scammers is a huge fucking moron. If this isn't smoking gun evidence that wealth and business success has absolutely zero correlation with intelligence, I don't know what is. True, but BS. They knew what they were voting for. They just thought they would be the scammers, not the marks. This is quite funny. Musk claimed his AI chatbot Grok would be truth-seeking, but it disagrees with him on many of Trump's key policies, report reveals. Grok disagrees with Musk on issues such as immigration, trans rights, and claims about FEMA. Elon Musk has claimed that his AI chatbot Grok would be truth-seeking, yet it often contradicts the billionaires' positions. When he launched the new version of Grok last month, Musk said it would be maximally truth-seeking, even if that truth is sometimes at odds with what is politically correct. But instead, Grok has notably challenged Musk's versions of the truth on several topics, such as diversity, equity and inclusion, DEI, and immigration. The Washington Post reported Grok last week declared that Democrats are better for the economy than Republicans. Yeah, I think most people would say the same thing if they look back the past 50 years. Musk launched the developer of Grok, XAI, in 2023, and it can be found on the social media platform X as an app or on its own site. The billionaires indicated that he wanted Grok to be an alternative to ChatGPT by OpenAI, which Musk has claimed has been ordered to give woke answers. Musk told Fox News in April 2023 that OpenAI had been training the AI to lie, by using human feedback and telling the chatbot not to say what the data actually demands it say. However, right-wing commentators have argued that Grok also gives what they characterize as some politically liberal answers. Musk, for example, has argued on several occasions that Democrats have imported voters, claiming last month that the Biden White House was pushing to get as many illegals as possible to unlawfully vote in last year's presidential election. He also claimed that non-citizens have been voting, repeatedly making the assertion on social media. Asked if Democrats imported immigrants to vote in the US, Grok has stated in the past that there is no solid evidence that Democrats have systematically imported immigrants to vote in the US elections. Claims like this often stem from political rhetoric, but voting by non-citizens in federal elections is illegal, rare, and heavily penalized. Think fines, jail, or deportation. Shortly after the release of the new version of his chatbot, Grok 3, Musk slammed what he referred to as the woke mind virus that is 100% real, apparently still affecting Grok in a post on X. It's tough to remove the woke mind virus from Grok because there is so much woke content on the internet, Musk complained. I like how Musk just asserts findings without any evidence whatsoever, and the magosphere just hoovers it up as truth. Sounds exactly like a certain other individual who happens to hold a high position of power. Just goes to show you can't program this level of stupid. Artificial intelligence is absolutely no match for natural stupidity. That is such a good line. I learned to see AI taking over as a dystopian threat, yet it seems ever more that this might be humanity's best chance at survival. It's more like Joshua than Skynet, to be honest. It learns shit like this is stupid and backs off, rather than doubling down and pushing the button. See, his problem is that facts are known to have a liberal bias. It's like the age-old conservative line goes, feelings don't care about your facts. I wonder why. I thought this man was supposed to be smart, but more and more, it seems like he just managed to fail upwards. That, or his brain is rotting. According to those who went to school with him, Elon was always a pretty idiotic bully who got ahead thanks to his dad's emerald mine fortune, and inherited his grandfather's admiration and support for the Nazis. It's thanks to Peter Thiel giving him a head start in the tech world that he is where he is. And even the other morons at PayPal despised Elon when they had to work with him. Oh, this is a good one. You've probably heard it, but let's get into it. A discussion by high-ranking US security officials about US airstrikes on Yemen has been published in full by The Atlantic magazine. The group chat on the Signal app mistakenly included The Atlantic's editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg. After holding back some of the excerpts of the chat in an earlier article, he decided on Wednesday to publish almost the entire exchange, after senior officials insisted there was no classified information shared in the group. Those statements have led us to believe that people should see the text in order to reach their own conclusions, Goldberg wrote. Timetable for the attack. These messages provide details of the US military's plan for the Yemen strikes, described as a package, a military term which refers to a set of aircraft, weapon systems, and intelligence gathering devices that will participate in an operation. The idea that this wasn't classified information at the time is inconceivable. Glenn Gustell, the former general counsel at the National Security Agency, told the BBC, and this is an excerpt from the chat giving exact times of the strikes, which if the wrong people knew, would probably jeopardize the mission, and possibly cause unforeseen consequences. And it's quite funny to see this one specific line, "We are currently clean on OPSEC," when the head editor of a newspaper is reading these messages and could theoretically just release them any time. The messages from Hegseth note that what time the F-18 aircraft are scheduled to launch, as well as what strikes will take place and in what time frame trigger-based attacks could occur. In this context, trigger refers to a set of parameters that have to be acknowledged before weapons are deployed. It could be a visual reference point, like a mobile phone lighting up. This information is considered highly sensitive. Philip Ingram, a former military intelligence officer with the British Army, told the BBC that similar information falls firmly into the bracket of what would have been classified top secret. You could practically plot where the aircraft are going to come from, he added. Well, that's Trump's select for national security, so that tells you quite a lot, eh? Sorry, Nebraska farmers, America is fresh out of sympathy. When you vote against your own livelihood, don't be surprised when the check bounces. Distress signals from the agricultural heartland, particularly from farmers in Nebraska, many of whom are now facing unprecedented changes to their livelihoods. Labour shortages, subsidy cuts, and budget deficit are not merely the product of global economic forces or climate variability. In significant part, they're the direct outcomes of federal policy decisions that were both forecasted and, in many cases, politically supported by constituents now suffering their consequences. Throughout all of my videos, the main point I'm trying to get across is to do your research before you vote, and if you don't, things like this happen. Trump promised to gut immigration, and he delivered. One of the biggest shocks, or for the rest of us, the least surprising development of 2025, is that Nebraska's farming economy is being crushed under the weight of Trump's second-term immigration policies. Shocking, right? Who would have guessed that mass deportations would leave entire industries that rely heavily on undocumented workers, crippled and understaffed? Well, literally everyone. According to the Center of Migration Studies and the US Department of Agriculture, an estimated 45% of the US agricultural workforce is undocumented, and that's likely an undercount. Actions have consequences, and no, Nebraska, you're not the victim. If Nebraska farmers were caught in a disaster they never saw coming, if they had been actively fighting against these destructive policies all along, perhaps the nation's reaction would be different. But that's not what happened. What happened is that they cheered these policies on, celebrated the very deregulation and deportation measures that are now destroying their businesses, and only started crying foul when the consequences hit home. Aw, yeah, I would care too, but I'm too busy laughing to even stand up right now. See, I think it's a great opportunity for these people. Why, very soon they'll have the chance to sell their farms and become a securely employed resident farmer to the lowest bidding agribusiness. Become a serf today. They can buy their needs at the company store as well. There's currently a drought that's affecting the amount of fucks people have to give. They won't find it there or anywhere else. Yeah, I used to have a fox farm, but Trump pulled my funding. But hey, while we're at it, here's some interesting or funny comments I've got in the past couple of days. Republican tweets read like GTA talk radio. Why should I have to think of the consequences of my actions? If I want to vote for a party that actively makes life in the United States hell, that is my constitutional right. I thought Trump was gonna make things better for middle-class Americans. I mean, you voted for Trump even after he said he would do exactly what he ended up doing, and not the person who made her entire political campaign about how she was going to help middle-class Americans? And yet, despite all of this happening, he still has a 47% approval rating. The cult is seriously out of their damned minds. Any criticism at all is just written off as Trump derangement syndrome, or fake news. It's disheartening just how many people are thoroughly beyond reaching. MAGA bans pride flags everywhere. Gay MAGA voters. That's fair. Shoving people in your lifestyle is wrong. Not everyone finds same-sex relationships acceptable. Gay bar. Hey, you can't wear MAGA hats. You're making other people uneasy. Please remove it or leave. Gay MAGA voters. How dare you? It's my free right to be proud who I am. Remember when the US Vice President came to Germany and told us we were abolishing democracy and free speech? Yeah, I remember that, because it was a bit over a month ago. But a white Christian man got arrested for breaking the law, and you can't make the mustache man gesture there. Absolutely undemocratic. Guys, the airstrike group chat got leaked. The next movement should be Make America Functional Again. MAGAs. I'd rather watch the USA collapse than a woman as my president. Donald Trump. Deal. I'll communicate the way the highest level of our leaders do, through emojis.